This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. Go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Disc Golf Nerd Plastic Podcast. I have really let it slip, have not posted one of these episodes in quite a while, which I apologize for. It's just been a little bit difficult to find the time to sit down and record these and also do all the editing and stuff. I've been having a bunch of equipment problems over the last few weeks as well, which have really slowed me down. My camera is probably on the verge of being unusable, and I'm going to have to replace that soon. The hard drive fried out on it. I started using SD cards. The SD cards are now not working with it as well as they should be either, and it's just causing a lot of issues. Then my computer cheesed out on me and would not load my video editing software for some reason, so I had to do like a full update, and that took like a day to get this computer to actually load the new operating system. And then by the time that was done, it still wasn't working. And luckily I found a YouTube video that this guy basically broke down a little trick that you can use to try to get OpenShot to boot again, and it worked great. So at least I'm back to business on that one. But yeah, I had a rough like week or so there where just like everything was kind of fighting me, and it just wasn't working out nearly the way I wanted it to, and kind of slowed me down. But I'm back on track now. You guys have seen I've posted some videos, trying to get back into more regularly putting kind of beginner tips and tricks and advice type videos out there, because it seems like those have the biggest impact in terms of my viewership and helping people. And for my I think my 7,000 subscribers giveaway, I had people submit questions and comments, and a lot of people said, I love your beginner tips, your beginner information videos really helped me. And I was like, man, I got the message loud and clear that was helping you guys, and I love that. That's really great. So I am happy to put those videos out as long as I have the ideas to kind of talk about, I guess. You know, there's certain things I don't really feel like I have the authority to kind of teach you guys, more technique based stuff. You know, there's really no reason to come to me for anything like throwing form or anything like that when you could go to a professional level player or other people that are making those tutorials that are more knowledgeable in that way. But if there's anything kind of more mental or advice based or disc based or anything like that, strategy, I feel like I'm definitely capable of explaining that stuff well enough to help players that are less experienced than myself. By no means am I like a pro where I'm going to tell you guys what to do, and yeah, you need to listen to me because I'm this authority figure or whatever. I'm just trying to help you guys out and give you stuff to think about. That's really all it is, and let you know about certain different kind of concepts and things that can help your game. That's really the whole goal there. So hopefully I can be able to continue coming up with ideas for stuff to post along those lines. So if you have any questions or suggestions, rather, feel free to leave them in the comments down here on this video, and let me know if there's anything that I have not touched on that you think could be helpful. I'll be happy to try to help you guys out. That's definitely always been the goal here, is to try to be helpful. Even with the product reviews and stuff, I'm trying to help you guys find stuff that can help you out there on the course. I'm trying to help the manufacturers get their products out there and kind of get them into the hands of consumers that can get use from them, and all that kind of stuff. I actually have a couple of different things I really need to get finished up in that realm, but all of that boils down to just trying to be helpful best I can to the game, because I really love this sport, and it's been super rewarding to run this channel and be a part of the community. So I want to try to be able to help you guys as much as I can. So yeah, again, feel free to leave any kind of suggestion for any type of beginner tip or advice type video that I might be able to post that you think would be helpful. Let's see what's been going on with me. I've been doing some dye videos again. I've been doing some kind of like lotion type dyes, although I haven't found the lotion that I saw in the video that inspired me to try this. At least not for the price I want to pay at the store. So I ended up getting some cheap conditioner because it was just kind of what the dollar store had, and I really wanted to give this technique a try. And it worked out really well. I think it comes out with some pretty interesting kind of swirly results that were pretty fun. So you can check that out here on my channel, of course. I'm sure some of you already have. I did like a kind of a quick tutorial on how I did it. Basically just kind of getting the lotion onto the conditioner onto this plate. I dripped the dye on there, swirled it around just a touch, and just kind of plopped the disc in there and let it hang out for a long time. I think I let it sit for like a day to really soak in, and it helped, and it worked really well. I think it was pretty cool. The designs are coming out pretty interesting for the most part. Some of them were cooler than others, and I'm kind of running out. I've pretty much run out of discs to dye at this point. I need to get some like white star or fusion gold line type discs to dye again, because I think those yield the most interesting results, and you can really see the color patterning and stuff on that white background, where a colored disc, even if it's a light color, it doesn't quite work the same. So yeah, I don't know. I also started trying to do some shaving cream dyes again, but I just don't like the results of the shaving cream. For some reason, it just never really comes out the way I want it to. I'm not very good at it. I don't really know what I'm doing with it. I'm just kind of giving it a shot, going off of what other people do, or trying to kind of come up with ideas to kind of swirl it around. A couple of them came out pretty cool, but none of them are terrible, but they're just not really that interesting. And I think the lotion ends up with cooler results. I think the next thing I want to try is I want to do like a stencil and then dip it into the lotion for a while, and then peel the stencil off and then leave some blank underneath to come through. Maybe even just probably just do my basic electrical tape pinstripe type design, and then do it in the goo, I guess, and then peel it away and leave some of the blank disc coming through for some contrast. I think that'll be interesting, and I'll probably go get some plastic from the depot relatively soon to be able to do that with. And we'll see how that goes. I will, of course, keep you guys posted. If I don't make a video about this, I'm pretty much always putting this kind of stuff on social media somewhere. I'm very active on Instagram in terms of my story and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to keep up with what I'm up to, you can go check me out at Disc Golf Nerd 1 on Instagram. Anything that doesn't make it to the actual YouTube channel will end up there, whether it's a video of me out on the course, throwing shots, putting, whatever it is, new plastic as it comes in, my day-to-day life, and anything else. My story can be absolutely anything, just what I'm out doing. Might be disc golf related, might not be. But if I'm going to make an actual post on there, it's usually something to do with disc golf, unless it's like a really pretty scenic shot that I took somewhere out here in the majestic state of Oregon. Speaking of beautiful places in Oregon, for Halloween, I actually went out to one of my favorite places, Stub, Stewart State Park. You can see it here on my channel. I did a vlog there showing you the cabins that we stay at and some of the course and just how beautiful this place really is. And we had a phenomenal time out there. I actually booked a cabin for Halloween night. November 1st was my brother's birthday, and since he has passed away several years now, I'm not really that fun on Halloween. I'm a little bit more somber, and so it was kind of nice to just get out of town and just me and my wife, and we just relaxed and had a nice time just out. No cell service, no internet, just beautiful, incredible sunset. The stars came out in force, and we sat out and bundled up, sat out in the stars for a while. We brought some pizza up there, and I just reheated it on my camping stove, and that was awesome. And it was just a really easy, relaxing trip. The first day, the weather was just perfect the whole time we were there. It was sunny and crisp, but calm winds and just really clear and beautiful out. It was awesome. It was really nice. The sunset on Halloween was absolutely incredible. So it was a really long, just awesome sunset that happens basically right on the hillside in the distance when you walk out of the cabin. So you can just sit on the porch and watch the sunset happen. And it was just absolutely stunning, start to finish. And then as soon as the sun went down, stars started popping out, and it was just an absolutely beautiful day and night out there. I played most of the big course on Halloween. I think I played the front 12 or so, and then I turned around. It gets to a point where you kind of you get all the way down to the bottom of the hill, and then you turn a corner, and there's this long par 4 around this corner, and then a couple of longer holes, and you go back up the hill and back up the backside. I didn't quite have as much time as I wanted to make that happen, so I didn't actually play the entire track. I really wanted to, and I probably could have, but yeah, it's a little nerve wracking for my wife to be sitting up in the day use by herself, and I'm like deep in the woods down behind her, and she has no way of knowing where I am, and I was completely alone on the course. There's nobody else there at all. There were some mountain bikers and stuff in the trails, but I only made visual contact with them like one time the entire time we were there for 2 days. Did I see anybody else in the woods there? So it's a little sketchy, you know. I could twist an ankle or something and be down there by myself, and it would be kind of stupid. So I try not to push it. I played all of my, favorite holes on the front nine. Some of the holes on the back nine are great, but most of my favorite shots are on the front. And it was just phenomenal. It was so beautiful, dead quiet. I threw some great shots. I threw a couple of bad tee shots, a couple of really great tee shots, some great par saves in there, a couple of good birdies. I think probably an ace run or two as well, and had a great time. Turned the corner, hiked my way back up and out to the day use area, and then there's a little 9-hole course there. So I went in and played a quick round there and tried to run some aces and almost got one. I was definitely getting close on a few of the shots I thought they were going to go in, but not quite. Either way, it was a lot of fun. Excuse me. Bear with me, guys. My voice is still trying to work itself out this morning. Almost lost like 3 or 4 different discs during the course of the 2 days I was there because there's so much leaves on the ground. It's crazy. There's ferns everywhere, especially on the short course. It's actually like more kind of grown in than the big course because it doesn't get played as much, I guess. I'm not exactly sure why, but the little course is pretty rugged. The shots are all really short, but if you don't see exactly where your disc landed, it's pretty easy to lose track of it underneath a fern or something like that. Add to that the fact that there was a ton of leaves on the ground because it's fall. It was pretty tricky. I almost lost a goby on the big course that I essentially gave up on and started to walk away back towards the basket, and then I came across it on my way back to the basket, which is funny because that happens all the time. It actually happened again the next day. I lost a caltrop throwing on one of the holes that I've aced out there. Little, just kind of super short downhill, like mini spike shot, and I almost aced it. It looked good, and then I just could not find it. No matter what I did, I looked everywhere. I was getting really angry. It took me probably 10 minutes to look around because I really didn't want to lose it. It was just like it's just a medium caltrop, but I really like those discs, and I don't want to lose them. So I was really frustrated because it's just such a short hole. It's like there's no reason to lose plastic on this little course, but it can happen, I guess. And then again, I basically gave up. I had a stick that I was trying to kind of fish around in the leaves with, and I broke the stick. I threw it off the fairway into the rough, and I was like pretty angry. And then I turned around and I saw it peek out, and it was like 3 feet away from the basket, just tucked underneath some ferns or something. I just could not see it until that moment. So I found that, and then I also lost this Dymax Judge that I got. It's a Punisher Dymax. But it's like kind of green, and it's a horrible color for throwing. Unfortunately, I was really hoping I could get away with it. On certain courses, it would be totally fine, like Advanced Rockwood or any kind of open course. It would be more than fine, but it's not really woods worthy, and there's no reason for me to try to get to know how to throw a throwing putter that I can't throw in the woods. It's just kind of stupid. So I lost that. Pretty frustrated there too. Played the rest of the round, came back to hole 1, looked for it again, couldn't find it, played another lap, came back again, and then finally found it. Once again, closer to the basket than I thought it was. It was just tucked underneath some brush or whatever. But it's funny how that happens where you give up and then somehow you come across it kind of on your way back to wherever you were headed. So luckily, me and all my plastic made it out safely, and we had an absolutely phenomenal trip to Stub. Again, if you guys want to see what the course looks like and the cabins and stuff, you can check out my vlog about Stub Stewart here on my YouTube channel. Being the off season now, the rumors are already swirling about all the different changes that might occur in terms of player sponsorships and stuff. We've seen Drew Gibson left Innova and moved to Infinite Discs and also Legacy. So he basically can throw an open bag, but he's also going to be throwing some of the Legacy stuff, and they're going to be working on a signature Drew Gibson disc with Legacy. I called Legacy straight away when I heard he was leaving Innova. People thought he was going to go to Discraft. I didn't see that at all. I just don't understand why they would bother. I mean, honestly, guys, no disrespect to anybody else on Team Discraft. There could be no one else on Team Discraft other than Paul Macbeth, and I don't think it would make much difference for sales. I really don't. The impact he's had on the company has just been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's blown away the expectations that I had for it. I knew it was going to be a big deal, but I mean, the impact it's really been in terms of how many new players have picked up Discraft since that happened, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's kind of, honestly, as a long-term Discraft thrower, it's kind of frustrating because now all these people are all all into Discraft now. I'm sure more than a few of them had, negative, snarky things to say about Discraft in the past, disc crap and all that kind of stuff that people used to say about Discraft. And yeah, it's just kind of obnoxious to see everybody jump on the bandwagon just because Paul's there. For me, that's my personality, though. I'm kind of a bitter, sarcastic person at heart. So I was like, all right, yeah, now everybody cares about Discraft. And also, like, we're seeing just kind of ridiculous things. Like when the Big Z Lunas came out, people are paying $80-$90 for them on Facebook. It just makes me want to puke. I can't handle that at all. That drives me crazy, guys. There's so much good plastic out there. To be paying $100 for a putter or something like that with shipping and everything, or $70 for a putter, just absolutely blows my mind. I mean, how much disposable income do you have? Buy a $20 putter and give $50 to somebody who's starving right now, somebody who doesn't have food on the table, somebody who can't afford to pay for their kids to have school lunch. You're paying $100 for a putter. Like, I just really take offense to that personally. Sorry if that, if any of you guys fit that category, you're paying crazy money for plastic that's really not worth it. What do you think it really cost Discraft to make that piece of plastic? And then people are out there paying this huge amount of money. And I don't know. I have a lot of trouble with the kind of imbalance of wealth and stuff in general in life. So when I hear about people paying $85 for a putter, that's just, okay, that's kind of ridiculous. But hey, the heart wants what it wants, I guess. I'm much more likely to get 6 discs personally. A golf bag you could get for the price of that people are paying for some of these putters. I mean, I've been carrying the Dynamic Disc Trooper lately. I could get 2 of them for what people were paying for some of these Big Z Lunas on Facebook when they first came out. So needless to say, Paul's impact on Discraft has been absolutely unbelievable, off the charts, just ridiculous. So we saw Drew move on, and I was thinking Legacy straight away, and I'm not surprised to see that's part of it, but I definitely didn't see the whole Infinite thing coming. And I think Felberg kind of opened the door for some of that. I think it makes a lot of sense now that we have some of these retailers that are getting to the point where they are making a good amount of money and they have the income to support some of these touring pros and partner with them. It makes a ton of sense because now they can throw whatever they want, and they can help kind of be brand ambassadors for multiple different brands. And, maybe that can turn into a big manufacturer sponsorship later down the line, or maybe they just have an advantage over other players because they can literally throw whatever they want. Having an open bag is pretty awesome. You can pick and choose the best molds from all the different manufacturers that you want to throw with no kind of problem there. You don't have to use any specific type of bag. You don't have to use any specific type of plastic. I think that's definitely an advantage in some ways. You could also make the argument that it opens up the door for there to be too many options and it could be difficult to narrow it down, but still, I mean, it's got to be an advantage to be able to throw whatever you want, carry whatever bag you want, and all that kind of stuff is great. So I think we're going to see more of that going forward, where players look for sponsorships away from just one major manufacturer. And I think that makes total sense. It's definitely interesting to see where we're getting now, where disc golf is becoming a real business for these players, for all the companies. And real money is coming in, and we're definitely seeing some growing pains with that in terms of the way the relationships are working out with the different players and all that kind of stuff. It's been interesting, and I think it'll continue to be. I think we're going to see a number of other changes this season. I've heard some rumors. I'm not gonna just kind of wildly speculate about crazy rumors, but I've heard that some of the folks from Team DD might be moving on, and um, yeah, some definitely some other things that I've heard. They're not completely unsubstantiated, just things that Andy heard here or there or something along those lines. But ultimately, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it all goes down, and we're going to find out soon enough. I mean, it's the off season now. We've already started to see some of the changes happen. Jordan Castro announced he's leaving DD, but not necessarily moving anywhere specific yet. Hopefully, he can dial in something before the season starts and get on a team somewhere if that's what he wishes to do. But apparently, it wasn't really his decision. They kind of cut him loose, I guess. Not really sure how that works. I don't really know the ins and outs of how sponsorship works to begin with. Really, like how do you go about doing that? I really don't know. I don't really have any sponsorships like that other than just the kind of professional relationships I've built with manufacturers and different companies in terms of providing video content for you guys, Sun King and the Disc Depot, and of course Dynamic Discs, the Disc King, and all the people have helped me out through the years, kind of getting the stuff that I need to post some videos. Speaking of which, I will be back out on the course testing some new plastic, hopefully on Friday. The rains are headed back to Oregon, so that might slow me down a little bit, but that'll give me more time to work on these podcasts, get through the rest of my question and answer episodes coming up soon. I'm also going to be doing a year review kind of award show like I've been doing the last few years, breaking down my favorite putt and drive and moments of the year. I'm probably going to bring in Andy. We're going to discuss some of our favorite moments of the year, and I'll give you the breakdown on exactly where to find those on the different YouTube channels for coverage and stuff. Of all the interesting things that I kind of jotted down throughout the year. A lot of times I'll be watching a video and I got to grab my phone and go into the color note on there and, Paul Macbeth on this hole and this tournament, best putt of the year candidate or something, and I jot that down. So I have all those notes I need to go through, and we'll compile that episode coming up here very soon. But I'll probably try to get a couple of discs filmed up and tested up on Friday, just so I can have something to come out with you guys to keep the ball rolling on these reviews. And we'll see which ones I pick. I'm thinking the Lion. I have an Innova Lion I want to finish testing, and I also want to do another one of the Yukon discs, probably one of the putters, because those are easiest for me to film on my own. And I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because I think the rains are supposed to be back on Saturday, so I'm going to try to get some stuff done as long as my camera will actually work with me here on Friday. So we'll see what I can figure out, and I'll keep you guys posted. You'll see when they come out, of course. I also got a new product called the Goat Towel, greatest of all towels. It's an interesting name. I kind of like it, but it is basically like a waffle towel, like we've seen on like the Flight Towel and other just standard towels that have kind of become the new standard for disc golf. The kind of waffle pattern towels that are really nice to have. They work great. It's one of those, and then it also has a micro suede towel that is sewn onto the back of it, so it's like double-sided, really heavy duty. Comes with a nice carabiner on there, and it looks like a nice product so far. I'll probably post a quick video showing that off relatively soon, so stay tuned to check that out. They reached out to me and sent me one to see, so I was actually thinking about hitting them up to see if I could line up a giveaway and have them just drop ship one to you guys, because that's always works out quite well. Flight Towel has been awesome and hooked that up a couple of times. For every time they've sent me one, they've also given me a coupon code to give away to you guys to get a free one for yourselves. So hopefully I can do that here too. We'll see. Either way, I'll post a quick video and let you guys know about it. I also really need to get a video done with my retriever that I have. I've had that thing in stock for so long. I just continue to forget to kind of make it a priority to get out there and film some retrievals with it and just kind of test it out. It's worked out great. I mean, I've used it only a few times, but it's gotten the job done quite well. It gives you a lot of extension, and it's definitely a lot better than like trying to find a stick or anything like that. You just kind of stick it on your cart, and it's good to go. And it's definitely come in handy a couple of times for sure. We've rescued some plastic with it a few times, so hopefully, maybe I can knock that out on Friday as well, and just show you guys a little bit of what it looks like actually retrieving discs in the field. But the original video I showed you, just kind of showing off the product, pretty much gives you most of what you need to know. It extends out really long. It's pretty heavy duty. The head's well designed. It grabs a disc pretty well. And it is far, far better than trying to, again, use a stick. Or I would have to assume it's much easier to coordinate than like a string retriever that you have to throw and then kind of reel in with your hands too. Like, I've never tried those, but I would have to imagine this is a little bit more intuitive than that, especially if you can see the disc and you're just trying to scoop it out of the lake or something. It works quite well. All right, what else have I got for you guys? I'll probably have a new in the bag video coming out relatively soon. Also, just as another kind of update for how the channel's been going. I have kind of switched my bag around a little bit again, and I've pared it down some. I've switched to a different putter, same mold, different plastic, so you'll see that. Also, I have kind of bumped out a few of the driver molds, and I'm really down to 2 different molds for drivers. I've got Furies, Thrashers, and then I have 1 Gladiator. So I guess 3 total, but I have 1 Gladiator in there that gets thrown once for every 100 throws out of the other discs, probably. I mean, I really don't use it very often. It's a very, very special occasion disc for me. On windy rounds, I will use it, and also for anything I need to be overstable, I use it there. But it's rare that I need a super overstable disc when I can just throw one of my more stable Thrashers on some hyzer. It usually works out just fine. So, yeah, I'm actually only really throwing Furies and Thrashers at this point in terms of drivers, mid-ranges. I put the Wombat back in. Of course, still throwing a ton of Gobies. Got the Anchor in there. And then I have a couple of different things for putters as well. But it's been really fun to, get out there and throw. And it's always really fun to kind of tweak my bag and change things around and try new discs. And all that is part of why I love this sport so much. Again, I've mentioned it many times, but it's it kind of appeals to the same part of me that really liked collecting action figures and toys as a kid. And it's also something that I get to use and play a really great game that I love out there with my friends. So hopefully we'll be able to continue throwing pretty often going forward through the winter and stuff. Oregon doesn't really, especially down in the valley here where Portland lies, really doesn't get that cold. So as long as it's not raining, I can pretty much play year round, and I pretty much do. I mean, I'm out there in shorts year round most of the time, to be honest. It's rare I even feel like I need to wear long pants to play around. A lot of the time I'm out there in shorts, and maybe I'll wear a vest or like a thermal shirt, but other than that, it's pretty much business as usual. In fact, some of the best golf is played in Oregon in the winter because a lot of the kind of the brush has died down. Some of the the trees are a little bit lighter, and it's a little bit easier to find your discs and stuff, and the courses aren't quite as busy sometimes. So yeah, it's plenty of great golf to be played out here in Oregon. It's part of one of the reasons why I love this area so much, is that it really doesn't get that cold where I feel like I can't go and do the things I want to do hardly ever. It's really the rain that's the only hindrance. So as long as I get a dry day, I can get out there and throw and do my thing. The winds do pick up in the winter, and that will make things more interesting, especially out at like Vance and Dabney and Rooster Rock. It gets super windy, and it can get rough for sure. So we'll see how that goes, but I don't know. I'm always trying to continue my evolution and kind of growing my knowledge and ability in the game. And wind is a difficult but interesting aspect of the game. It's not my favorite. I'd rather play in calm conditions where I feel like the only thing that's really affecting my disc is my throw and my ability. But it is an interesting challenge to work around, and it's definitely fun in its own way to try to throw with the wind and learn how it manipulates the disc through 3D space and stuff. It's an interesting mental challenge, something that I'm not very good at, but I get better with experience, and yeah, I'm interested to try it, give it a shot, and kind of work my way through those different challenges out there on the course. That's part of the beauty of the game, is dealing with the course and the conditions as you find it, and being flexible and being able to improvise and get yourself out of different situations and work with it. I like to think that I'm pretty good with that in general. I've always been very comfortable improvising as a musician, and I like to try to wing it, make things up when I can. And disc golf definitely has a lot of opportunities for that, especially in terms of scrambling and getting out of trouble and stuff, which I honestly think is probably one of my better attributes out there on the course. I don't track stats or anything like that, but I think that's probably one of my better attributes as a golfer, is my ability to get out of weird situations, find a way to get a look for par, and then when my putting's on, I can definitely save pars from very difficult positions. I've done it a number of times over the last few rounds, actually. Kind of memorably in my head, I can picture hitting some pretty sweet shots to get myself back in position after bad tee shots or bad kicks or anything along those lines. So I don't think I really have too much else for you guys. I really just wanted to get a quick video. I really just wanted to post a quick catch-up episode and let you guys know what's going on. Oh, wait. I might have forgotten. I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the show. I was on the Smashbox TV Unsanctioned podcast. So if you go to the Smashbox TV feed, or if you look for Smashbox Unsanctioned, you can find me on there. It is Johnny V's kind of side podcast where he takes people from the disc golf community and he walks them through BuzzFeed quizzes to kind of learn more about the person. It's not really disc golf related. It's more just about me. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go look for it on all of your favorite podcast apps, and you can find that episode on there. I actually listened through it the other day. We recorded it last year, I think, like during the early part of the season, or maybe even during the off season, like before the season's fired up last year. I'm not exactly sure, but he sat on the episode for a little while, or for quite a while, because he wanted to be able to post it and then have other ones to post right after that. So he's been working on getting some other ones, and I debuted season 2 of the Unsanctioned podcast with Johnny V on the Smashbox feed. So go check that out. Let me know what you think, and definitely let me know down in the comments below if you guys have any questions for me, if you have any suggestions for beginner or kind of amateur player advice, tips, videos that I like to put out, something you think might be helpful, let me know. Soon it will be Thanksgiving, and a couple days after that I'll feel like it'll be Christmas time and it'll be ready to go, and I'll probably be doing a some type of holiday giveaway, as I like to do, so stay tuned for that as well. I also have I've yet to announce, but I picked winners for 2 other giveaways, and I'm sure I'll have other ones coming out relatively soon. So thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much for the people who support me on Patreon. If you like the content that I provide and you'd like to consider supporting me financially, helping me out a little bit, that would be great. You can go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd and look for that there. Either way, I appreciate you listening and I appreciate your support, and I will talk to you all very soon. All right. Cheers.